Hey everyone, it's Ash here, founder of Different and community manager and everything else around here. Trying to help you guys build better companies, of course. I'm coming to you with this video to give you the answer to a question that a lot of you have had recently, and the answer to a rightful question, a question of what the hell are you working on, Ash? Because I've been suggesting for a little while that I've been working on something new, something that's going to be positioned as more of a venture scale company, Difference being a lifestyle company for me, and mainly just a really great way for me to make a small career, I guess, out of helping awesome people like you build great companies, hopefully. And over the last, 5 to 10 years, it's been a really awesome journey. Different isn't going anywhere. Don't worry. There are no plans to close anything or stop anything just yet. In fact, I'm improving this experience as much as I can over the coming months. That will take the form of content and a bunch of other things. And that's one of the questions that came up when I was talking about content recently in the recent video I put in the community. People were asking questions about the fact that I said, hey, I'm going to be building something new, and I'm going to use the fact that I'm building something new as an excuse to create content that you guys can watch and engage with around how to build a company from scratch. We have the 30-day startup campaign, which you can work through and get an email into your inbox every other day to, guide you and hold you accountable for the processes in starting a company, everything from nothing to something. And hopefully by the end of that process, you might be able to find a customer potentially. I know one or two people that have gone through that process have, and that's been, really rewarding to see because I spent ages writing it. So that's there, but I just think it'd be really fascinating to watch someone build a company live, a company from nothing to hopefully something. The problem is that we hear about stories of really great companies once they've happened, the challenges they went through, the great times and everything in between. We don't get to see them as they happen. Some people build in public now, and that's mostly on Twitter, and it's still often quite a few of the highlight reels. But I want to do something a little bit different. I want to be more transparent. So I'm going to be building this company as public as I possibly can, and as an example of the things that you need to do to set up and grow a company, hopefully. And time will tell whether any of this is right or not. I've been giving advice to startups for 5+ years now. I've been in the startup ecosystem for a decade now, and I'm still here, so I must be doing something right. But this is really going to test my mettle and prove my worth. So no pressure, Ash. But then the big question comes as to what the hell are you even working on? And I wanted to do this video as a big reveal for that. The business that I'm working on right now isn't a million miles away from what Different currently does. And as I launch it, the two will work really nicely together, but cover different areas of specialism in the business space. Over the decade that I've been running Different, I've seen a lot of similarities in the challenges that business owners, early stage business owners, people that want to build something have. We don't know what we don't know. No one is often around to show us what we need to do first, let alone next. It's the only job in the world that you don't get onboarded to. If you work in a bar, someone shows you how to pour a pint or make a coffee. If you are a doctor, you've probably gone through a whole bunch of years of training to become one. But if you start a business, which is arguably an incredibly complex job role, no one shows you how to do that. You're just expected to make it up as you go along. Yet the failure rate is huge, and we seem to be okay with that. Well, I'm not. 2 in 3 businesses fail. That's a lot. That's a vast majority. And if the university dropout rate was as high as that, there would be a national inquiry tomorrow and it would be fixed. Yet SMEs represent 99% of the economy and 99% of the jobs market, but we're okay with 66% of them failing. So something has to change. And as I say, a lot of the challenges I see, you guys go through are very similar, which is why we're able to have such a great agnostic community here in the Different community, because a lot of the advice that we give is applicable to all of you. One thing that I do for members where I can, when I can, is provide a personalized service. People will join, and often I'll jump on a call and say hello. And if you haven't had a chance yet, drop me a line and we'll do that. And when we have that conversation, it allows me to provide you with a personalized experience, because I'm taking data points from the things that you're telling me. You're telling me what you're working on, where you're based, what you're doing right now, what your challenges are, who you'd like to meet, what you need to know. And I'm answering that. For a long time, I took that for granted. I took that as part of my advisory role, my role to pass down knowledge that I've gained a couple of years prior to you, so that I can help you leapfrog that period of time. But if it is universal and it is based on data points, the information you're giving me, then surely I should be able to turn that into some sort of formula and provide that to people just like you, as and when they need it, as and when you need it, at the time you need it, possibly even before you even know you need it. If I can do that, then in theory, we can develop a personalized startup experience at scale. Different provides a semi-personalized startup experience right now, and it can't do it at scale because there's only one of me and there's only so much I can do in any given day. A lot of the time that is administrative, and it's making sure the company stays afloat, and obviously doesn't leave a huge amount of time for creation and curation and advisory stuff for you guys on the platform. I want to be able to do that without having any barriers of resource limitation. So what does that mean then? What am I really building here? Well, what I really want to build is I want to put a virtual co-founder in your pocket. I want to put a guide to walk you through the stages of building your business from pre-day one up to exit eventually. And I want to do that using technology that exists now that hasn't existed before. Technology that can use data to personalize your experience and make sure that you now, versus any other time previously, get the right advice, the right introduction, the right resource, the right information, the right tools at the right time as part of that journey, so that you're never left asking, what's next? What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? So that you already have those answers. You have those answers in your pocket and you have them for free, regardless of where you are or who you are. That's the vision. I'll happily dive into the business model and everything else in due course, but gives you an idea as to what we're building. So the question for you guys in the community will be, well, what happens to different? If you build that, does it not cannibalize what you're offering? And just as I suggested and related to and alluded to in the last video, different will be doubling down on the content that you need to upskill yourselves from a soft skills perspective. The things that make you a more entrepreneurial person, regardless of the business you're building. Less about how to do marketing 101, although we'll still cover that. And this tool won't exist for at least 12 months to 18 months yet anyway. But we'll be doubling down on that content and doubling down on community and doubling down on network as well, getting you guys connected to each other. We'll hopefully see an influx of more members with the rollout of a supporters initiative, which will see companies sponsoring the memberships of people who otherwise might not have access to the sort of content that we're hoping to provide. And then that will allow different to go back to its roots, basically, or really deliver on its roots, because it's never really left of being an impact-focused initiative that was never meant to be an at-scale business, and more so an impact initiative that just about pays its own way, but delivers massive impact as a result. So that's what different is going to be. If you are a member and have been for some time, I don't know if you'll see a huge amount of difference, but you will see better. But also what you'll see now is another content track developing, which is Ash is building a company in public, engage, watch, and learn. And that sort of content will be made up of a whole bunch of different things. There will be, over the coming weeks, content on the business model canvas, starting with the basics. Who do I need to consider in building this company? The financials. Well, how am I going to financially project this company's revenue and costs over 5 years? And how can you do that whilst watching me do it for a real life company that I'm building? How do I brand the company? How do I come up with a name for this thing I'm working on that hopefully then becomes the name that people are recognizing for years to come? How do I build a digital presence for this brand and take that online and make sure that it's got everything it needs and nothing more? How do I protect that? And how do I raise investment for that? That's going to be one thing that will be very key in this piece of content, is building a pitch deck that you guys can follow along with online, use as inspiration for your own. And who knows, maybe we'll get to the point where some investors are okay with me recording or live streaming the calls that I have with them, so that you guys can watch that and follow along as that happens. It might be an absolute car crash. It might not work out, but at the very least, we'll have some fun along the way, and different will be better for it because we'll have some great content for you guys to watch and engage with alongside everything else that's going on. But hopefully there will be a new, really interesting company born out of the back of it too, and you'll have seen it from day one, day zero even. So hopefully that gives you some ideas to what's going on behind the scenes, what I'm working on in this company, this new thing, what it actually is intended to do. More information on that soon, and I will share some content on that as well, so that you can see where, you know, what the business model is and the business plan is, and I'll work on a memo and get that out there soon. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, just post up below. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. I'm an open book. And God knows I'm going to need some help in building this new company. So thank you for your loyalty so far. And I promise to continue delivering value where I possibly can. And here's to building something really interesting together. Who knows, there might even be a way for the community here to get something exclusive in this new company. Be that part of the company, be it some sort of recognition that you were there before it ever began. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Might have been a long video, I haven't been counting, but more information to come real soon. And I will see you guys in the next one, which may well be working on the memo, the business plan, the business model canvas, or the financials, or something like that for the new company. So stay tuned. More to come, and I'll see you in the next one.